Hey folks, today, we're diving into the 7 common mistakes that can destroy your diesel engine. Stick around to make sure you're not making any of these costly errors. Now I know a lot of you out there love your diesel trucks and cars. They're powerful, they're torquey, and when they're running right, they can last a heck of a long time. But here's the kicker, they're not invincible. And a lot of folks, even some who think they know better, are making some real boneheaded mistakes that are sending their beloved diesels to an early grave. These aren't just little oopsies I'm talking about, these are the kind of blunders that can cost you thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in repairs, or even force you to scrap the whole vehicle. I've been a mechanic for over 50 years, and trust me, I've seen it all. I've seen engines caked in sludge, pistons melted, and turbochargers blown to smithereens, all because of some simple, avoidable slip-ups. So if you want to keep that diesel heart beating strong and save yourself a mountain of cash and headaches, you better pay close attention. We're gonna go through these 7 deadly sins one by one. I'm not here to scare you, well, maybe a little, but mostly I'm here to educate you. Because an informed owner is a smart owner, and a smart owner keeps their vehicle on the road, not in the repair shop lining some greasy mechanic's pocket. Unless it's mine, of course, but I'm trying to help you avoid that. So grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's get started on saving your diesel. Alright, first up on the hit list, ignoring regular maintenance. Now, I know maintenance can seem like a chore, something you can put off till next week or next month. But let me tell you, with a diesel engine, that's like playing Russian roulette with a fully loaded cylinder. These engines are workhorses, designed for tough jobs, but they demand respect and consistent care. We're talking about the basics here, folks. Regular oil changes with the right oil, which we'll get to later, replacing your fuel filters, your air filter, checking your coolant levels and condition. It's not rocket science, but it's absolutely critical. If you start skipping these things, thinking you're saving a few bucks or a bit of time, you're just setting yourself up for a world of hurt. Dirt and contaminants build up, oil breaks down and loses its ability to lubricate, and filters get clogged, starving your engine of what it needs. This neglect leads to increased friction, overheating, premature wear on vital components, and eventually, bam, catastrophic failure. And when a diesel engine goes boom, your wallet goes boom too, in the wrong direction. So don't be lazy, stick to that maintenance schedule like your life, or at least your truck's life depends on it, because it does. Next up, and this one's a biggie, folks, using the wrong type of oil. You wouldn't feed a thoroughbred racehorse cheap dog food, would you? Well, putting the wrong oil in your diesel engine is just as bad, if not worse. Diesel engines are a different breed compared to their gasoline cousins. They run hotter, they operate under higher compression, and they produce a lot more soot. That means they need specialized oil, with specific additives to handle those conditions, to neutralize acids, and to keep all that nasty soot in suspension so it doesn't turn into engine-killing sludge. If you just grab any old bottle of oil off the shelf, or worse, use gasoline engine oil because it's cheaper or all you've got, you're asking for a 5-figure repair bill. The wrong oil won't protect those heavy-duty components, it'll break down under the heat and pressure, leading to metal-on-metal contact, scored cylinder walls, worn-out bearings, and a turbocharger screaming for mercy before it seizes up. Always check your owner's manual, look for those diesel-specific ratings like API, CK4, or whatever your manufacturer recommends. Using the right oil is cheap insurance against a very expensive disaster. Don't skimp on it. Alright, let's talk about treating your diesel like it's Superman when it's really just Clark Kent with a good engine. I'm talking about overloading the engine. Yeah, diesels are known for their grunt, their towing power, their ability to haul heavy loads. That's why people buy them. But even the toughest diesel has its limits, and constantly pushing it beyond those limits is a surefire way to send it to an early grave. This isn't just about hooking up a trailer that's way too heavy, though that's a classic blunder. It's also about consistently lugging the engine in too high a gear, or flooring it from a standstill with a massive load. When you overload your diesel, you're putting immense strain on everything. The engine has to work way harder, which means it generates a ton more heat. Your exhaust gas temperatures go through the roof, which can cook your turbocharger and damage your emissions system. Pistons, connecting rods, crankshaft bearings, they're all taking a beating. You can blow head gaskets, crack cylinder heads, or even seize the whole darn thing. So, know your vehicle's limits, use common sense, and don't try to make your 1-ton truck do the job of a semi. Your engine and your bank account will thank you for it. Those blinky lights ain't Christmas. Ignoring warnings is engine suicide. You're driving along, minding your own business, and then bam! One of those little lights pops up on your dashboard. The dreaded check engine light, or maybe the oil pressure light, or the temperature gauge suddenly shooting into the red. What do a lot of people do? They ignore it. They put a piece of black tape over it, or they just hope it goes away on its own. Let me tell you folks, that's like hearing a smoke alarm and just turning up the TV louder. Those warning lights are your engine's way of screaming for help. They're not suggestions, they're serious warnings that something is wrong. Ignoring these signals is one of the fastest ways to turn a minor, easily fixable problem into a catastrophic, wallet-emptying nightmare. That little oil light could mean you're dangerously low on oil, or your oil pump is failing. Keep driving, and you'll seize the engine. That temperature gauge in the red, you could be about to blow a head gasket or warp the cylinder head. Even the check engine light, which can mean 100 different things, is telling you that the computer has detected a fault. Get it scanned, find out what's wrong. Don't be an ostrich and stick your head in the sand, because your diesel will make you pay dearly for that ignorance. Cheap fuel, costly catastrophe. Don't feed your diesel garbage. Everybody wants to save a buck, I get it. But trying to save money by pumping the cheapest, sketchiest diesel fuel you can find into your modern, high-tech diesel engine? That's a recipe for disaster, plain and simple. You might think all diesel is the same, but it ain't. Low-quality fuel can be loaded with contaminants, water, dirt, algae, all sorts of gunk that your fuel system and engine absolutely hate. It can also have a low cetane rating, which means it won't ignite as readily or burn as cleanly as it should, leading to all sorts of performance and wear issues. When you feed your engine this garbage, you're asking for trouble. Those contaminants can clog your fuel filters in a heartbeat, and if they get past the filter, they can wreak havoc on your expensive high-pressure fuel pump and injectors. We're talking thousands of dollars for injector replacement on some of these new diesels. Poor quality fuel can also lead to incomplete combustion, excessive smoke, carbon buildup on your pistons and valves, and even damage to your emissions components like the DPF. So stick to reputable fuel stations, and if you're really concerned, use a good quality fuel additive. Don't let a few pennies saved at the pump cost you thousands in repairs. Cold starts, hot mess. Give your diesel a warm-up hug. Now, this one might seem like a small thing, but it adds up over time, especially if you live in a colder climate. Not letting your diesel engine warm up properly before you put it under a heavy load. I see it all the time. People jump in their truck on a freezing morning, fire it up, and immediately stomp on the gas pedal or hook up a heavy trailer. Whoa there, partner, you gotta give that big iron beast a chance to get its blood flowing. Diesel engines, with their tight tolerances and heavy components, really don't like being worked hard when they're cold. When the engine is cold, the oil is thick, like molasses. It doesn't circulate as well and it doesn't lubricate as effectively. Metal parts haven't expanded to their normal operating dimensions yet. So, if you demand full power right away, you're causing a lot of unnecessary wear and tear on cylinder walls, pistons, bearings, and especially the turbocharger, which needs good oil flow to survive. Just a few minutes of idling or gentle driving until the temperature gauge starts to move can make a huge difference in the long-term health and longevity of your diesel engine. Patience, folks, it pays off. Chokin your engine. A dirty air filter is a diesel death wish. Last but certainly not least, let's talk about something that's often overlooked but is absolutely vital, the air filter. Your diesel engine needs a massive amount of clean air to run efficiently and powerfully. Think about it. For every gallon of fuel it burns, it can suck in thousands of gallons of air. The air filter is the gatekeeper, stopping all the dirt, dust, bugs, and other junk from getting sucked into your engine's sensitive guts. If that filter gets clogged, and believe me, they get clogged, your engine is essentially trying to breathe through a dirty sock. A restricted air filter forces your engine to work much harder to draw in the air it needs. This leads to a whole host of problems: a significant drop in power and performance, terrible fuel economy, because the engine is running rich, and increased strain on internal components. All that extra vacuum can even start pulling fine dirt particles through a compromised filter, and that dirt acts like sandpaper inside your cylinders, wearing out your piston rings and cylinder walls. It's one of the cheapest and easiest maintenance items to replace, so there's absolutely no excuse for letting it get filthy. Check it regularly, change it when it's dirty, and let your diesel breathe easy. Keep those diesels purring. Final word. Well, there you have it, folks. 7 critical mistakes that can absolutely wreck your diesel engine and your finances along with it. From skimping on maintenance and using the wrong fluids to abusing it and ignoring its cries for help, these are the things that turn reliable workhorses into expensive lawn ornaments. But now, you know better. You're armed with the knowledge to avoid these pitfalls and keep that diesel heart thumping strong for years and miles to come. It's not about being a master mechanic, it's about being a smart, attentive owner. Remember, these diesel engines are marvels of engineering, but they rely on you to give them the proper care and respect they deserve. A little bit of attention following the manufacturer's recommendations and using some good old common sense can save you a world of trouble and a mountain of cash. Don't let a simple oversight lead to a complex and costly repair. Treat your diesel right, and it'll treat you right, pulling those heavy loads and getting you where you need to go without emptying your wallet at the repair shop. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more tips on keeping your car running smoothly. See you next time. And remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, especially when it comes to these powerful and sometimes finicky diesel beasts. Rev up your engines and drive safe.